so with that, find a comfy seat, find your sit bones, and take a moment to get comfortable. Notice your ischial spines and your tailbone pressing down into whatever you're sitting on. If you have a block or a bolster or a firm pillow, I encourage you to sit on that. Finding your base and your root. And from your root, grow tall, align your spine in a way that feels good, and reach the crown of your head to the sky. Take in a big deep breath here, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And one more big breath in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And if it feels okay for you, you can close your eyes and rest your hands lightly on your thighs, face up or face down. And take a moment to arrive wherever you are. Many of you have potentially traveled to where you are, or are having people join you who've traveled to wherever you are, and letting yourself land or arrive. Mind, body, spirit, all in one place. Noticing where you feel you land. Is it in your sit bones? Is it in your heart space? Is it in your belly? Take another breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And on this day before a holiday, or it is a holiday for many of you, taking a moment to set your intention. I often share the value of intention setting before important things, and time with family is important. And very often we get caught up in the doing and we miss the being, we miss the connecting, we miss the noticing and the loving. And for many of us who are used to being in charge, we get into the anxious space of making sure everything is okay and everyone is happy. I might have said to my husband last night that I worried, that all three of my boys were not happy. He said I say that every year, which is probably true. And so why worry? It doesn't actually help anyone. Worry is love. And we could just settle into spending time with them just as they are in this moment and enjoying it, as messy and chaotic as it is, with many different generations, many different wishes. Letting yourself just be and just enjoy the chaos around you, perhaps letting go. And I find one of the things that helps me do that is coming back to my center. And so notice where your center is this morning. Notice where your breath is drawn when you're not paying attention. Bring your hands there. Perhaps it's hand to heart, perhaps it's hand to belly. You do you. And take a moment here to notice, pressing the hands into your body wherever they are, hand on hand. Rubbing that top hand on the bottom hand, lowering the cortisol with that skin to skin massage. And take another breath, shifting your physiology with your breath, breathing in through your nose. Now through your mouth. And bring hands together, rub them together, heat them up, and set your intention, whatever it might be, what you would like to focus your attention on over the next bit of time. And bring your thumbs to your sternum, pressing into the heart space. Fingers reach to the sky, finger pads press against each other. Noticing each one press against the other, elbows out wide. And take a moment to connect with your intention. What would feel good to you in the midst of celebration and family? And in this time of winter, potentially darkness, the end of one year, the beginning of another, what might you like your intention to be for the next day or two? Take a big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And when you feel complete, lower hands and open eyes and have a wiggle, just relieving any tension that you may feel, shaking your hands, letting go of tension there. And shaking your hands even a little bit more, using that to just shift that energy and the cortisol. And lowering hands to stillness. Take a big breath in, find your belly and reach both arms out and up towards the sky. Inhale, interlace your fingers, do a shimmy, find the side body. Inhale, reach even taller, as tall as you can. Exhale, tip left, root your right hip downward. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, tip right. Use your center here as you move to take good care of your back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, tip left, root the right hip down. Inhale, through center, tip to the right, root your left hip down. Notice the far nether regions of your lungs opening up. Come back to center. Open your arms out to the sides, face your fingers to the front. Inhale, scoop a ginormous beach ball, suck your belly back, open your rib cage. Exhale, open your arms, perch shines forward, pinch your scapula, let it feel good. Opening to whatever may come. Draw your arms back a wee bit more. Inhale, round, scoop. And exhale, open and shine forward. We'll do that 2 more times. Let the flow happen, just letting yourself open up to whatever. And once more into that beach ball and open, arms out, draw them back a wee bit. Draw your hands back down by your hips and scooping them up in a huge circle, bring your palms together. And opening them out like a snow angel, bringing your hands back by your sides, except your heart is a little farther forward. And once more, perhaps painting, or this reminds me of the snow angels, so we'll go with that since it's winter. Reach your arms up to the sky once again. Bring interlace the fingers and pointer fingers reach to the sky. Inhale, grow tall, tall, tall. Exhale, tip right, root left hip down. Let your right ear rest on the right arm. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, tip left. You'll notice a different stretch here. Inhale, back to center. Opening arms out wide once again. We'll wrap them in front. Left elbow under right today, the opposite of the way I usually go. Interlace your fingers, come to eagle arms. If eagle arms doesn't work, you can give yourself a hug. Elbows to shoulder height, and notice the tension held in the interscapular space. Take in a huge breath in through your nose. Use the breath to shift your physiology. Exhale, let it out. Press your elbows against each other. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower the elbows to shoulder height. Enjoying the shifts and welcome the opening. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round forward, elbows come to your belly, drop your head and neck. Release. Inhale, back up to shoulder height, untangle. Press your hands into the side walls. Spread your fingers wide, pinch your scapula, stretch everything wide. Enjoy all the sensations. Exhale, release and cross in the opposite direction, right under left this time if you followed me last time. Elbows to shoulder height, pause. Enjoy the interscapular space. Press your elbows against each other. Remember to breathe. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower to shoulder height. This time, huge inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, round forward. Elbows come towards your belly button, drop your head and neck. Let it feel amazing. Pause here for a moment, reconnect with that intention. Send the breath to those tiniest interscapular spaces that open up. Taking a pause. Inhale, lift up to shoulder height. And untangle, press your hands into the sidewall, spread your fingers and pinch your scapula tight, tight, tight. Release the scapula, squeeze your fists tight, tight, tight. And flick the water, squeezing and opening, spreading your fingers wide, inviting some heat into your arms. Flick faster if that feels good. Bring your arms in front and continue to flick the water at anything you'd like to flick away. And reach your arms up to the sky, continue. And out to the sides. Pause in stillness, lower your hands. Let them settle, close eyes, notice the tingles and the heat. Take a big breath, shrug your shoulders up to your ears as high as you can. Drop your occiput into the shoulders and give yourself a massage. Huge breath in. Exhale, drop shoulders and release. Notice the tingles, wiggle fingers. And we'll come off of whatever you might be sitting on, if you're sitting on something, and stretch your legs long. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Root your ischial spines downward. Knees can be bent slightly. Spread your toes as wide as you can, shifting the energy with your toes. And lower your knees to where it's comfortable. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward, grow tall, heart shines forward. Exhale, hinge forward at the waist, lower your heels a wee bit. You'll notice the energy shift. Ankles are flexed, toes are stretched wide, lots of energy moving. Point your toes, enjoy your shins. And flex your ankles, spread your toes. Point your toes again. You can imagine this pointing as enduring someone having a conversation that you don't love. You're sort of white knuckling it for a moment. Flex your ankles, spread your toes. Enjoy the release. Wiggle toes and just shake it out. Wiggle fingers, and we'll open our legs wide, coming into a wide angle pose. Rock and find your sit bones. Slide your right arm down your right leg. Rest your elbow on your knee or your upper thigh and reach your right arm over. Open up the left rib cage. Huge breath in. Exhale, slide a little bit farther downward. Root the left hip down. Inhale once more. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder if it's okay for your neck. If not, don't do it. Rise up. And switch sides, slide that left arm down the left leg, root the right hip, reach your right arm over, and enjoy that right side body. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder. Reaching both arms up, open your arms out, press your hands behind you. You can use fists or fingers, straighten your elbows, pick up your hips and slide forward a little bit more. Bend your knees, you can waggle them and bring hands in front. Walk your hands forward a smidge, not too far. Hinge at the waist once again. And point your toes. And flex your ankles. Walk your hands forward another smidge. Hinging at the waist, back is flat. With intention, allow the energy to shift. Flex your ankles, spread your toes. Point your toes, extend your ankles, and come back to neutral. You'll walk your hands back up towards your groin. Bend your right knee, bring it into the left inner thigh. You're going to have a 90-degree angle. Bring your hands about 18 inches behind your right hip and lift up into Wild Thing and have a lovely stretch. Enjoy it. Roll your wrist. Lower your hip down, slide your left hand down the left leg and reach the right arm over. And bring your right arm back, drop your right knee and lift up into Wild Thing. We'll do this 2 more times because it's fun. Reaching the arm over. And once more, lift up. Letting this movement in, letting go of any resistance and stiff spots. Coming back up to neutral to a seat, and you'll extend your right leg and bring your left foot into the right inner thigh. Once again, find your sit bones. You'll place your left hand about 18 inches behind your left hip. You're going to shift onto your left knee and drop your right toe to the left and lift up, roll your wrists, stretch. Let it feel good. Lowering your seat and curling over the other way. Root that left hip down. Don't move too fast. Let it feel like a flow where you're getting out any of those kinks or resistance to whatever is ahead over the next 24 to 48 hours. Let it just feel good. Enjoy it. Let yourself sink in. And I might say, go with the flow. Reaching your right arm up and stretch. And coming back down to a seat. We'll bring both feet in front, coming into butterfly pose. Draw your ankles in, bring both hands to your ankles and flap your wings. Move your chest out of the way, bring your arms, wrap them around, squeeze them in towards you, tilt your pelvic bone forward and sit up nice and tall. Heart shines forward. Huge breath in. And big breath out. Let it feel good. One more big breath here. Taking a pause once again, finding your center or finding your root. Pausing to listen. Remembering in the midst of family things that taking a pause is always good. Opening eyes and take a look ahead. Leave your right foot knee bent and extend your left leg. Letting your right knee be out, move that flesh of the seat away from the left hip. And you'll reach both arms up to the sky. Twist towards the left foot and fold forward, grabbing the outer edge of the left foot ankle and drop your head. Left hand can wrap into the right hip crease if you wish. Enjoy it. Untangle and slide up. Switch sides, stretch your right leg long, bend your left knee, find your sit bones, reach your arms up, find your belly, twist to the right and fold forward. Wrap right hand into left hip crease, making it a twist. Your rib cage is opening. Breathe. Letting the breath bathe every nook and cranny, every alveoli. Inviting wiggle room and space into all these tight pockets. Wiggle your toes, let it be light. And sliding back upright. Untangling your hands. And we'll come to hands and knees. Knees directly under your hips. Hands directly under your shoulders. Find steadiness. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. Warm up your spine. Inhale for cow. Heart shines forward. And exhale for cat. Suck your navel up to the sky. Come back to center. Extend your right leg. Inhale, raise it just below hip height and pause. Find your center. And when you're ready, raise your left arm long, find your middle, your belly, reach your fingers and your toes in opposite direction. You can stay here if you wish. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Do this 3 times if that feels good to you, or hang out in the balance. Either one is perfect for you. Lower your left hand. Lower your right toe, sorry. Drop your right heel to the left. Reach your right arm up to the sky and circle it round. 3 times forward and 3 times back. letting your shoulder feel good. And if you have a shoulder issue, don't do this. Reach your arm back up to the sky. If you wish, raise that right foot, come into a balance here. Let it feel good. Flex your ankle, point your toes, roll your right wrist. If you wish, grab your right ankle and hug your heel to your rear end. Release it. Notice if you're gripping your neck and let your neck go. Extend your right leg long again. Lower down, 2 hands and knees. Knees apart, toes together. Shift back to child's pose in between sides. Stretch your fingers as absolutely long as you can. Forehead on the floor, rear end sinks back into your hips. Have a little bounce. Walk your hands to the left, right hand atop the left. Walk your hands to the right, left hand atop the right. Come back to center. Lift back up to tabletop. Pause. Extend that left leg long. Find your belly. Left toes are on the earth. Inhale. Raise your left foot a little below hip height. Your back is not an extension. Extend your right hand long in front. Stretching, going as long as you can. Wiggle fingers and toes. If you wish, exhale, elbow to knee underneath. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, round. Finding your center. Letting your back feel good. Lower right hand, lower left toes. Drop your left heel to the right. Reach that right arm up and enjoy the circles. 3 forward and 3 back. And come back to stillness. If you wish, raise that left foot. Come to balance. Point ankle and flex and roll your wrists. And if you wish, grab your left ankle, draw it towards your rear end and enjoy your thigh. Breathe. Extend it long. Lower down. Come back to hands and knees. Enjoy a cat-cow. Lower your hands, come into a modified puppy pose. Your elbows will be directly under your shoulders, forehead on the floor. Reach your sit bones to the sky. Wiggle your elbows forward. And notice that release in the armpits. Forehead on the floor. Wiggle your toes here. Inviting space where there is none. And finding breath even when you feel squelched up. Remembering to always breathe to find your center. And reconnect here with that intention for time with your family and time with your children. What is it you most want about it? For those of you with young adults, what is it that you miss when they're not around? And notice if your mind always goes to what might need to be fixed or controlled. And maybe you can set an intention to soften and be in the flow. Let those words flow in and flow out. Lifting up, slide forward, come into Sphinx pose, undo the back. Elbows directly under your shoulders. Press the front of your hips into the floor. Spread your fingers wide, palms on the floor. And take a moment here. Heart shines forward, sending love to your back. Huge breath in and out. 3 more breaths. Curling toes. Come onto your palms and press back to child's pose. Release your back. Always being kind. to the lower back. Come back to hands and knees. And from here, bring your right foot out wide. Your toes will face front. And you're gonna come onto your fingertips and rise up. We haven't done this way before, so if you need to take a look, feel free. Your right leg is extended. Slide your right arm down that right leg and reach your left arm over. Use your belly here to balance. And bring your left hand back to the left thigh. Reach your right arm up. Use your belly here. Stretch your right arm over. You won't go very far. Don't tip. If you wish to bring your hand down, you can. You'll use your glute here. And we'll come up once more. Let your core take good care of you here. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips to stabilize you. Rebend your right knee. Bring it behind you and switch sides. Slide your left hand down and reach over. And come back. Use your center here to help you balance. And coming back to center. Bring your knee underneath and we'll come back to hands and knees. Walk hands forward, handprint, and curl up to downward dog. And take a moment here to let go of whatever you like. You might notice you want to walk your dog. You might want to be still. Breathe. Perhaps a horse's breath or a lion's breath. Notice what would feel really good to you. Ground the right ball of your foot into the earth. Find your belly. Raise your left foot high, high, high. Roll your ankle. Bring that left foot between your hands. Come into Anjaneyasana or low lunge. And reach your arms to the sky. Find balance here. If you need a blanket under that right knee, grab one. And ensure that your left toes are in front of your left knee. Straight that front knee. And bend. Use your core here for balance. If you want to bring your hands to your hips, you can do that too. We'll straighten that once more. And bend your knee. Come to stillness in the low lunge. Be kind to that back knee. If it's cranky, give it a moment, readjust. Left thumb and middle finger, grab the right wrist. Reach tall once again, tip to the left. Breathe out. Come back to center. Release your hands. Lower your hands to the floor. Curl your back toes, lift up to the low lunge for a moment. Drop your back heel, and we'll cartwheel right up to warrior two. You may need to narrow your stance here. Gaze is over that left middle finger. Outer edge of the back foot grounds into the earth. Drop your right hand down, right thigh, reach up for peaceful, elegant warrior. Cartwheel back to warrior two. Flow into peaceful, elegant warrior. We're moving more today than usual. I find sometimes it helps to shift things. Left elbow rests on the left thigh, reach your right arm over, come to side angle. Let it feel good. You can use a block here too if you wish. Cartwheel back up to warrior two. Gazes over that left middle finger. Straighten your front knee. Shoot your right hips back. Reach as far forward as you can. Drop your hand. You can come into Trikonasana with or without a block. Do what works for you. Reach that right shoulder back. Gaze up. Come to stillness here. Find your heart space. Engage both inner thighs and your right glute. Right hand comes into the left hip crease. Roll your shoulder back, gaze up. Reach that right arm up to the sky. We're gonna come into half moon. If you do not have a block, you can use a couch or you can just stay in triangle pose. Bend your front knee, grab your block. Hop the block about 2 feet forward and raise your right foot up, coming into a balanced pose. Sometimes we feel like we have to balance amidst all the holiday chaos. Find your steadiness. Straight that top leg if you can. Bring your hand to hip. Bend the knee, lower the foot, come back to Trikonasana or triangle pose here. Rise up. Bend that front knee into warrior two. Turn your hips forward, hop your back foot out, come to warrior one. And pause here for a moment. Your hips are squared to the front of the mat. Bring your right foot out a little bit wider. And your back heel will reach towards the earth, and the arms reach to the sky here. Huge breath in, grow even taller. Exhale, drop, shoulders grow taller. Huge breath in, even taller. Open your arms out, clasp them at your sacrum. Drop your fists, straight elbows, heart shines forward. Shoulders down and back. Drop your chin to your chest. And take a moment, close eyes. You may notice when you close eyes, you're a little tippy. Let that be. Bring your chin back to neutral. If you wish, tip into humble warrior on the inside of that left knee. If it's fun. Slowly rise back up, or if you're waiting for us here, do that. Press hands back down towards the floor. Lift up on your back tiptoe and lower your foot back down. Reach your hands towards the earth. Once again, drop your chin. Come back to neutral. Release your hands, shake them out. And lower them to the floor in front. If you have 2 blocks, use your blocks. Come into pyramid pose. Release the left hamstring. Turn both toes towards the front. And decide if you want blocks or not, if you want to stay low or keep your back flat, you choose. Tip your weight onto tiptoes. Come back to your heels. Inhale for a half lift. Your back will be flat. Your hands can rest on your thigh. You'll notice more of a stretch in the back of your hamstring. And lower down. Bend that front knee. Bring your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Sit back into chair pose here. Sink your hips way, way back. And bring hands to heart. Lift up all 10 toes and spread them wide in chair pose. Noticing what it feels like to sort of white knuckle things, recognizing that so you can opt out. Huge breath in. Exhale, lower hands and release, let go. Let your back release. Grasp your elbows and have a sway. Take a moment here, a little bit longer than usual. Shift your weight around until you find your center. Notice that you know where it is.
Maybe gaze behind you, look at the view. Notice where you are, what your surroundings are. And as you're here, lift up all 10 toes and lower them down, root them downward. Find your belly, release your elbows and unroll inch by inch by inch. Your head will be the last to rise. And let the blood flow adjust here. Come back to your breath, find it. Widen your feet so they are directly under your hips. Lift up your 10 toes, root them downward like tree roots. Let your hands fall by your sides. Close eyes and take a moment here into Tadasana or mountain pose. Going within, finding your steadiness, your place of calm. Perhaps bring a hand to heart and another atop, or a hand to heart, hand to belly. Do the one that helps you feel the most centered. Remembering you can do this anytime you need. We'll open eyes and lower hands, shake it out. Coming into tree pose, I often find being a tree is helpful in the midst of chaos. Trees are pretty good at staying standing, except in the biggest winds and biggest storms. Raise your right toes, all 5 of them, send your roots downward. Kickstand your left foot to the calf, or if you wish, coming all the way up today. You do what feels good to you. And reach your arms to center or up as tree branches, whatever feels great to you today. And taking a moment, noticing if your tree is steady, is it wobbly, what does it need? Do a tree that feels good, doesn't feel like white knuckling. Draw your left knee back. Notice your 5 toes on your right foot and the sole of that right foot holding you steady. And notice what else is holding you steady. Is it your belly? Is it your heart? Are you grinding your teeth? Relaxing what needs to relax. Lower your hands to heart center, draw your knee forward and lower down and unroll, be kind to that right calf and ankle. Shake things out. And we'll come to stillness. Lift up the 5 toes on the left foot. Lower them down. Extend your right foot. Slide the sole of your foot up, right foot to the calf or the inner thigh, not on the knee. And reach your arms straight up to tree pose today. If you want to do hands to heart, do that. And enjoy this beautiful tree. Remembering about trees, standing tall amidst the storms. They don't react, they just sway. They sway a lot before they break or snap. And they look elegant and graceful even when covered with rain, even with a snapped branch or 2. Bring your hands back to heart center. Draw your knee forward and lower it down. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down, root downward. Bring your hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into the sternum. We're going to lift up onto our tippy toes, standing tall, tall, tall. I'm inspired to share the vision of a lighthouse today. The lighthouse standing tall and graceful amidst the storms, and we're having this awesome high surf right now. And the job of the lighthouse is to shine the light. It doesn't go out as a zodiac raft rescuing everybody. It's standing tall here on your tippy toes, even as you're wobbling, little micro adjustments, but not out saving everybody and fixing everything. Just surveying the scene and shining its light, protecting people with that. Notice the wiggles and the wobbles and the micro adjustments in your feet and ankles. 2 more breaths here, high up on your tippy toes, letting your ankles get strong, and your toes work and your feet work. You may feel some noise in your feet. And lower your heels. Lift up all 10 toes and stretch them. Lower them down. Huge breath in. Exhale, lower hands by your sides, reach them out and up. Bring your palms together and we'll drip forward into a forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Your heart shines forward, back is flat. Exhale, lower down. Plant your hands and step back to plank. And enjoy this plank for a moment. Find your center, rock. Don't hold it in stillness. Enjoy your wrists. Notice what you notice. Find your steadiness. We'll shift our weight forward and lower down, chaturanga towards the earth. Inhale for a low cobra, your heart shines forward. Tuck your elbows back towards your waist. Exhale, lower down. Once more, inhale for another low cobra. Maybe a little higher, plant the front of your hips, plant the tops of your feet. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes, press into your hands and up and back to down dog. And enjoy this down dog. Walk the dog, come to stillness, you choose. Hips are the apex. You might try lifting up all 10 toes, lowering them down. You might try lifting up onto your tiptoes and shooting your hips to the sky, shifting your weight back. Notice how that feels when you lower your heels. You might bend one knee and straight the other. And come to a still spot, upside down. Gaze at the view between your legs. Notice your surroundings in a light way. Notice how safe you are, dry and warm you are. Enjoy either a horse's breath or a lion's breath. You do which one you like. The horse's breath is the more bubbly one, and the lion's breath is stick your tongue out and really let it go forcefully. Find your belly. Ground the ball mound of the left foot into the earth. Raise your right leg to the sky. Everything straight here. Arms engaged, both legs engaged, right heel engaged, presses back, rear end engaged. Big inhale. Exhale, gently bring the right foot between your hands, come to the low lunge and be really kind to the left knee. Reach your arms to the sky and pause for a moment here. Give that left hip flexor a moment to release. Find your center, straight your front knee, and bend into low lunge. Try not to rock on your back knee. It's really the balance and finding your steadiness. And when you move, your hip flexor releases in different ways, so you don't have to straighten it completely. Let it be an inflow motion, a rocking. When we're stuck in the mud, we have to rock to get out. Back and forth. We don't move forward initially. Come back to stillness. Lower hands on either side of that front foot. Curl your back toe. Coming to high lunge for a moment. Find steadiness. Drop your right heel and cartwheel open to warrior two. Gazes over that right middle finger. Find your steadiness here. The drishti, the gaze over the right middle finger, is your intention. It's where you're headed. Thinking about that as you head into this holiday end of the year, where would you like to be headed? Drop the left hand down the left thigh, flip the right palm up, reach back to peaceful, elegant warrior.
Cartwheel open to warrior two. Once again, a little more movement, sit back to peaceful warrior. And cartwheel open. If you wish to hang out in a pose longer today, do that. Once more, peaceful warrior. Come back to warrior two. Wrap that right glute in, if you notice it. Bend your right elbow and cartwheel open to side angle pose. Cartwheel back up to warrior two. And once again, into side angle pose. Notice with the movement, different things wake up. And once more, come up to warrior two. Straight your front hip, front knee. Reach your hand forward, drop into Trikonasana. Triangle pose. And pause here. Close eyes if you can, and just notice how you feel. If you wish, bend your front knee, grab your block or the edge of a couch, and come into half moon. You can have your hand on your hip, you can have your hand in the sky. If it's a tenuous balance, that's fine. Lower your back foot, come back to Trikonasana. And rise up. Bend your front knee, come back to warrior two. Hop your back foot out and we'll twist forward into warrior one. Your back heel is not on as much of an angle, your feet are a little wider and your hips are square to the front. Take a minute to let it feel good. Readjust anything that needs adjusting. Reach your arms to the sky. Find your steadiness here. A reminder to pause and find our steadiness wherever, whenever. You can also have someone help you. My husband said to me, I've done half of the holidays already with one of my young adult children who's headed back to his wife's family today. And at one point he said, I think you should go take 30 minutes for yourself. And it was so lovely because I would never have done that. And it made such a difference. So taking a moment, 30 minutes, whatever, to yourself, sometimes allows you to show up as the best version of you. Open arms, reclass them into sacrum, press your hands down, shoulders down and back, drop your chin to chest. Bring your chin back to neutral. Come into a humble warrior. If you wish, fold down to the inside of that right knee. Hands reach over. Or stay upright. Remember to breathe. Breathing always helps. And rise up, heart forward. Yoga's a bit like family. It feels amazing, we love it, and then there are parts of it that feel hard. And yet you feel so amazing. The things in life that are the most amazing are sometimes hard. Drop your chin to chest. Enjoy that release. Chin back to neutral, release hands, shake them out. Lower down, hop forward to pyramid pose on this side. And it might look different than the other side. In pyramid, both toes jet line to the front leg is straight. Bend elbows, fold down, and pause. Notice if you want it to be still or move. Inhale for a half lift, your back is flat. Notice the shift in the back of the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Hop your back leg to meet the front leg.
We're gonna widen our feet and sink down into a yogi squat. You can use your blocks or not. Palms come together, elbows come into the knees. And enjoy the squat. Enjoy your breath. If you can, close your eyes. Press the thumbs into your sternum. Root your sit bones down and remember to breathe. Coming to stillness here. Open eyes. Drop your right hand to the floor. Twist to the left. Reach the left hand to the sky. Use your obliques here. Your right elbow presses into the right knee. Gaze up. Come back to center. Both elbows press into the inner thighs. Palms come to center. Reorganize. Find your steadiness. Always taking time in the transitions. Lower your left hand or fist. Reach your right arm to the sky. Roll your wrist. Enjoy it. And we'll come back to center. Take another moment here in this squat. Lower hands and shoot your hips up. Toes come forward, feet are straight, and release. Legs can be straight or bent. Bring hands to opposite elbows and have a sway. Potentially lift up all 10 toes, lower them down. Lower your hands to the floor and bend your knees, and we'll come to lie on the earth. Take your time. You can lie down with knees bent or straight. Do what feels good to you today. And give yourself a moment to arrive. Notice where you are. Where you are physically. Where you are emotionally. Notice, bend your knees if they're not bent. And notice all 10 toes on the floor. Bring your hands, thread them behind the right thigh, extend the right leg to the sky. Press your hamstring into your hands, your heel towards the sky. Point your toe. And flex your ankle, point your toes towards your nose, flossing the nerve. Point your toe to the sky. Toes towards your knee. Roll your ankle to the left and to the right. Lots of intention here. Come to stillness. Extend the left leg long. Reach your right heel to the sky. Press the hamstring into your hand. Point both toes. Flex both ankles. Come to stillness. Bend your right knee, release your hands, and let it slide alongside the left. Notice how it feels. Wiggle toes, wiggle fingers, adjust. Bend both knees once again. Reorganize your sacrum if you need. Draw your left knee towards you, bring your hands behind your thigh, reach your heel to the sky. Press hands, hamstring into the hands, heel to the sky, point toe. And flex your ankle. Point your toe. Flex your ankle. Roll your ankle to the left. For most of you, it's the opposite way that you usually go, and to the right. Straighten that right leg. Press hamstring into the hands, heels, both legs fully engaged. Point the toes. And flex your ankles. Reach the heel to the sky. Bend your knee. And let that left leg extend alongside the right. Undo your shoulders. Bend knees once again. Cross your right ankle over the left. Bring your arms above you in an easy cactus shape. Drop your knees to the left. The right sole of the foot will land on the earth and your waist will twist. Coming into a twist. Let this release. Breathe. Letting any remaining tension melt. Noticing if you can truly settle in here. Let the mat hold you. Beginning to drop into that Shavasana state of mind already. Deepen the breath. Deepen the breath. Bring your knees back to center. Uncross and cross the opposite way. Left ankle over right knee. Reorganize your sacrum and your shoulders. Drop that left foot to the right. Both knees come to the right. Figure four twist. Sending some love and energy to the waist and the left hip. When you arrive, let yourself settle. Soften into the release. This is a great pose to hang out in 2 minutes on each side after a shift or in that 30-minute break when you're tired. Noticing what's happening. Remember to breathe. Bring your knees back to center. Uncross them. Reorganize your sacrum. Give your knees a big squeeze and a big hug. Hug your forehead all the way towards your knees. Tight, tight, tight. Everything engaged. And release. Stretch your legs long into Shavasana or final resting pose. Land yourself on the mat. Readjust if you need. Palms open at your side, about 6 inches from your waist. Toes will fall towards the outer edge of the mat. Taking a huge inhale through your nose all the way down to your toes. Exhale, letting it out from your toes, out through your legs, to your belly, to your chest, to your mouth. Another big inhale. An intentional exhale, let yourself soften into the earth. Taking a pause. Letting the earth hold you here for a few minutes. Taking care of everything that needs taking care of for you. Letting go of control of the breath. Yourself rest, restore, refill, enjoy. If you wish, feel free to take a longer Shavasana today. A holiday gift to yourself.
For those of you who are ready to come out, gently deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes. And taking a big deep breath and stretch in whatever way feels absolutely amazing to you. Make your way to a comfortable seat. When you're ready, drop back into that Shavasana state. Let your hips sink into the floor. Close eyes and let your hands rest on your thighs for a moment, releasing any tension in the shoulders. Taking a big deep breath with eyes closed if that's okay for you. Huge exhale. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Press the heel of the hand into the heart space, releasing oxytocin. Rub the top hand on the bottom hand, melting some of that cortisol. And notice for a moment how you feel here. Reconnect with the intention you set at the outset. How did you want to go forth to spend time with family, to spend this last week of the year? Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all move forward in more of the ways that you would like, with attention and intention, and love and peace and connection. May you all be safe. May you all be happy. May you all be healthy. And may you all be present for those moments of joy in the week ahead. Namaste.